Hi, everybody. This is Rolande Sumner, and I am the CEO and founder of Life After Service Transitional Coaching. I am also the military transitional coach, and I am here with Centria Dorsey. Before I give her a proper introduction, I'm going to talk about some announcements I want to make, and then I'm going to let her have the floor. You're going to want to hear what she has to say, what she's bringing to us. She has a wonderful passion that she wants to share with the world, and I'm excited to have her on. So my first announcement is, if you are a woman veteran entrepreneur, or you're a woman veteran who wants to start her own business, please click on the link below in our comment section for our or for the show notes for the Facebook group. I have an exclusive Facebook group just for women veterans who want to start their own business or they have started their own business. This group is like a mastermind. It's a support group. So you'll learn some information. You'll get an opportunity to promote your business. We hold each other accountable and so much more. The next announcement is each person is allowed a free complimentary sessions. And my complimentary sessions are real sessions. They're 2-hour complimentary sessions that allows you to actually get everything you want to talk about out, set some really strong, actionable goals, and get accountability. So if that's something you're willing to do and you're ready to do, go ahead to the show notes below, click on the link, and set up your complimentary session. And then the last announcement is, if you are a women veteran entrepreneur, you have a concept you're about to launch, or you just want to get it out to the world so you can grow faster, or if you have a business that you are already operating and you want to share your story with the world, please click in the show notes and fill out the questionnaire. It's about 3 to 4 questions. It gives me an opportunity to get to know who you are and to see if you're right for the show. And then if you are right for the show, I'll send you a link for you to set up your interview. With all that being said, we are going to introduce Centria Dorsey. She is a native of Baltimore, Maryland, who retired from the military February 22nd, 2017. Thank you for your service, by the way.
You're welcome.
During the 20-year period, she earned her Bachelor's of Science in Physical Education for K-12. She attended personal training school, became a massage therapist and an instructor at the Baltimore School of Massage. Centria's love of health and healing led to the creation of her business, At Ease Wellness and Resource Center. Centria S. Dorsey, LMT, received her credential in 2014. She is currently working on various projects and has just released her first published work, Purge. So without further ado, how are you, Centria?
Hello, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on today. I am so excited to hear what you have to say. I've been watching you on LinkedIn. I think that's how we got acquainted anyway. But I've been watching you on LinkedIn. I'm ready. I'm ready to know more. So first, can you start telling us a little bit about your service? You said you retired in 2017?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I went in 1997. Seems so long ago now. And initially I was in mental health. So they had merged the two mental health fields. You know, you had mental health and you had behavior specialists, and they had merged the two. So I went in under the 91 X-ray designation. They ended up doing away with that again and leaving them separate. But during that time, I was under the reserve, so that was federal. And because I didn't have my own transportation, I transitioned to National Guard unit. Because I was also in school at this time at Morgan State University. And during that transition is when I found out, hey, I think I like driving trucks. So that's actually what I did for all the rest of my career. I drove trucks. And that was great fun.
You're 88 Mike?
88 Mike is what I ended up Yeah, was my
That
last.
was my last secondary MOS.
Yay.
I mobilized as a 42 Alpha 88 Mike. I only drove
Okay.
like to fill in for drivers for tour.
Mhm.
My work was 42 Alpha, but yes.
Awesome. And it was funny to me because even though it's in my records with mental health, I don't know that I was ever awarded that. So, but I always got handed the mental health briefing to do.
Well,
So yeah.
that is the guard way.
So yeah, that was an interesting time. I will say from that period, I learned a lot about myself. Um, what I learned the most is that I'm very stubborn, and that being stubborn is what allowed me to accomplish the 20 years. Outside of that, and go back to mental health, I'm so grateful that I got that introduction to mental health, because being a female, one, in the military, then being a black female, then being a black female that does not fit the height weight standard, never did, never will.
The height and weight standards are strict. Like, they want you to be so. You're like, look, I have boobs and hips, and I'm not fat.
Right.
Just have boobs and hips.
Exactly. And it's like no matter what you do, you just. I am 5'3", and I was not going to be 135. Like that. I hadn't seen 135 since middle school. So that just was what it was. So what I did was committed to myself to push through and at least get my 20, because I felt like I had earned everything that comes with having your retirement. So that's what I pushed for. And beyond that, once I got done with the military, I just focused in on honing my massage therapy, because I had already been to massage therapy school prior to my last deployment in 2014. So it was great to get my license. I got fully licensed in 2012. And then, like I said, I went after my training in 14. And actually, looking at my paperwork, I got that in 15, not 14. So I apologize for that. But yeah, it just has been a journey, and it's been a journey that has, again, been one of learning. And during that process, I've learned that my passion is to help other people not have to go through the things that I've gone through, to get the financial education that we lack so dearly in our community, and or communities that are just lower class, because they go to the same schools that we go to, and so they aren't learning the same things that we haven't learned, and they don't have that education as well. So teaching people how not to fall into money traps. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm surrounded by people who are. I've been a Primerica agent, so I got that education, so I'm familiar with what that looks like. And taking all of the education that I have and putting it together to create a program. As I discussed with you, my biggest passion is to get my initiative in place, which is a housing initiative. And in that will incorporate everything that I've ever done and or learned to help people change their mindset on money, on ownership, what that looks like. And yes, if you have mental health issues that are challenging you, or you have emotional issues that are challenging you that have nothing to do with chemical imbalances of the mind, they're just issues that you've been dealing with all your life that you just can't seem to overcome, then we'll have the resources for you in that program. So that's what I'm working on. The primary that I have available right now as far as the massage therapy and retail products are there to help build this, to position me to be able to initiate the initiative. And I know that I'm going to need assistance from probably the city. And I definitely want to incorporate the aid of Morgan State University, my alma mater, and also University of Maryland, because they are working with those populations already, and they're in the city, and they are familiar with the people of the city, and it would also help their students who have to do case studies anyway. So now they have all these case studies, they can just do them and get their grade, and at the same time they will be practicing their craft and getting people who need the assistance that they need. So there's a lot to the initiative. I don't know how much more you want me to go into it, but let me know.
Well, I want to learn as much as 25 minutes left.
Okay.
So tell us the different, because it sounds like it's going to be a holistic approach to money management. Like, not only teach you the technical things, but we're going to teach you the what you can actually do with it once we teach you the technical aspect of money. And then we're going to also hit up the mental and physical influencers that are influencing you making the choices that you're making.
Yes.
Not physically healthy, let's try to get you healthy so you're not spending money on medication. If you're having some mindset barriers or an actual mental health issue, who can we refer you to take care of that mental health issue so you can think appropriately about your money and it could be healthier? Oh, by the way, we're going to teach you how to balance your checkbook and save some money so that you can buy a home, because that's the American dream, to buy a home. And so you can get out of debt and stay out of debt. It sounds like it's a whole entire stick view on financial health for the community. It's definitely needed. So with that being said, tell us what you need or who you need to get involved.
As I stated, I believe I will need the assistance of the city because they have a lot of vacant homes. And I would like to take those vacant homes and, get them rehabbed and in a condition that they can be lived in. So I definitely will more than likely need a grant of some sort, so I can get those. And the goal is to have 100 homes in the program. And I've been going back and forth on whether 10 or 20%, but I'm leaning more towards 20% of those homes will be for people who do not have quote unquote families, because they have a lot of things geared towards families already. And so I feel like the single person gets lost in the shuffle. But that's that single person that ends up with a family and can't manage the money. So then they end up in that situation with a family, which is worse. So if we can catch some of those people before they get to a family, then that's what I like to do. So, and then the 80% will be for people who are already in a family situation. And so with that, we're going to need the capital to get the homes and to refurbish them if they need to be refurbished. We're going to need, as I mentioned, I would love to have the social work students from UMBC and Morgan State to assist with that. And then I already have a couple psychologists and social workers that have said that they would be willing to help me. But of course, if there are others out there that once the students have done their case studies and they hand that information over, that I have a person I can immediately give that information to and start their therapy. And then beyond that, I have other massage therapists that I network with, so we would be able to start putting on a plan to help them deal with any physical ailments that they have in place. I also have personal trainers that I already have access to, and they have agreed to work with me. So they'll have that available to them also. And then as far as the money goes, the biggest thing is that the people who enroll in this program are going to have to be willing to be completely transparent. They're going to have to be willing to have people, quote unquote, be all up in their business, because that is the only way that you're going to be able to do that mindset shift in a short amount of time. And I'm looking at 5 to 7 years max per household, because we want to keep people flowing through, getting that education and getting that help. And hopefully at the end of that 5 to 7 year period, the people that have been in the program will be empowered enough to go out and purchase their home or get the condo. Everybody doesn't want to buy, but at least you'll be able to manage what you do want better and more effectively, and have a retirement in place. Be able to start setting up something to leave for your children. You know, we should not be the only group who is not consistently leaving their children some type of inheritance. Doesn't have to be much, but you should be able to leave something for your children to start their life with. It's a lot.
So it sounds like you've already started the networking component. You've identified services that you would really need. What is your next step in the process?
Right now, my next step is actually positioning myself, because not only is this process going to help others, but like I said, as I'm going through the process to try to pull everything together, I'm learning more and more about myself. I'm learning more and more about the things I need to strengthen financially, because I get into trouble with wanting to do. I tend to give away too much. And so that into a financial bind that I should not be in. So again, this has helped me to shift my mindset where, okay, say no now so you can say yes later, you know.
So
and that's just the truth. Yeah.
After this, we need to talk about a complimentary session so we can help you get on your way to feeling like you don't have to give away everything.
Right.
Work on that together. So I first want to thank you for your transparency, because you're absolutely right. One thing in our community, it's money's not really talked about. Like, the context of money is we don't have enough. It's a lot of scarcity in our community, and particularly in the African American community, but even in, other minority groups, money is not enough is the common thing. I just have enough money for this. I don't have enough money for that. Or it's a lot of scarcity. And because you pass that on to your kids without even knowing it. And then also in our community, we almost feel like if we are Christians, we really shouldn't have money unless we're a pastor or what have you. And even the pastors get a lot of flack if they happen to be wealthy. Like, why aren't you poor? You're hoping so you can't have money, which I totally disagree on. I'm like, look, God made it for everybody to have something.
Right. And he never said for us to be poor. How can you leave money for the next generation? How can you leave an inheritance if you don't have money? Yeah. The word clearly says that you should leave an inheritance for your children. Yeah. How can you do that if you have nothing prepared for them, which means you have to have something coming in, and you have to be putting away in your storehouse, either a bank account or a business, whatever it is, something that you can leave. And so I don't understand when people say, oh, you're supposed to be poor. No. How can you help people if you're poor? The way that we've been called to help people, you can't. I mean, you can help to a degree, but you can't help the way that you need to help.
It's hard to motivate when you're in crisis. It's hard to tell people that, a good day is coming when you're constantly in desperation, in a state of crisis and need. And you're absolutely right. It does start off with a mindset shift. Like, you are worthy of being wealthy, because I know when I grew up, I thought money was for them, them. you know, and it took me a long time, a lot of therapy, a lot of coaching to realize that money is for me too. And there's nothing to feel guilty about. It doesn't make me better than anybody. It doesn't make me worse than anybody, but I have the right to feel privileged and be comfortable as well. And for women, I was at one of my modules, and they said, talk about everybody shout out a value. And this one woman said wealth, and the room got quiet. And I was like, no, that's a good one. Because it's a good one. Everybody wants wealth. And she felt really bad about it. And I was like, why would you feel bad about that? You know, but we're made to feel like, you know, we're not of a servant's heart if we want money, if we want wealth, or we want a nice house and comfort. And even if you don't want the big and fancy, you know, just to have some financial stability feels good.
Right.
And then another thing, the last thing I'm gonna let you continue.
No. Yeah.
Is for our community, we like to wear our wealth. We like to wear our accomplishments in our teeth, in our earrings, in our jewelry, even in our cars. Because, you know, I have a Ford that I'm awfully proud of. You know, I probably could have done with an older car, but we like to, it's almost like an instinct, a habit that we pass on. We like fancy and glitzy. We want to show it. We want to be adorned and have like just everything just really glitzy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that until you start to put yourself in a way where you can't take care of your basic needs. Like you're going home and you have no furniture, stuff like that. Right. So thank you for your transparency and opening up and sharing that you give to what hurts, literally. It's real though. So with so yeah, your next step with, I know you're working on yourself. I want to help you propel this to the next level. Who is the very next person you're going to contact this week?
I actually have a number to a gentleman called Michael Harris that I was given, and he assists with business planning and getting capital. So what I will be doing is presenting him with my plan.
Tagging him in this video.
And you know, laying it out and seeing how he directs me. Because the other thing is at one point I was like, oh, I'll just, you know, at this point, obviously I'm a sole proprietor. But the other part was, okay, I'll go down to Preston Street, because I haven't done that yet, because being a massage therapist, I don't really have to do that as of yet, but I understand that once I get into this next level of things, I need to do that. So the other thing I'm going to do is, once everything is laid out, is find out from him, okay, so which way should I go with this? Should I be LLC? Should I be incorporated? Should I be S Corp? Like, which business umbrella should I go under that's going to serve my business well, and what the entire goal is. So that's my next step, and that's who I will be contacting.
You have
tomorrow.
Yes. You have to update the group in Accountability Wednesday so we can stay close to you on this and hold you accountable like you didn't do it this week, sis, or great job, you know, you knocked it out the park. What's next? So what else do you need? Like, share with us what else you need. You're going to talk to the gentleman this week about setting up the foundation. Is there anything, and you can be as vague or as personal, whatever if you want. Do you need?
I guess the other part I would need to know more in depth is, how would I actually navigate the schools to get those students involved? Because like I said, everybody else is kind of easy, because I come across people in all of the other disciplines every day. So it's easy for me to say, okay, you'd be great for this, because I'm also looking for people I know I can work with. And the other part of that is I'm not looking for people that won't tell me you got mud on your face. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people are going to be very honest with me, because I want to keep things going forward. But like I said, those other people are easy to come across. So what I think I'm going to need the most help with is navigating the schools and getting being able to get the students involved where there are no legal issues with that, you know, the whole confidentiality and all of that stuff. So that is the other piece that I think I need the most assistance with.
Okay. Would it be easier for you to get into that space if you spoke? Women veterans are really popular, and so volunteered to speak for a couple of schools on Memorial Day or Veterans Day. You can get into the front door. You can get your name out there. People can get to know, love, and trust you.
Okay.
Something that, I mean, if it's not anything you're interested in, then really don't do it. But maybe that might be an idea for you to get in the front door. And I'm just spitballing. I don't know.
Right. But it's a good idea, because that is a form of networking, and
it's a form of lead generation too.
Yep. And it's like you say, you're gonna put this on all of the social media. So I think that in and of itself will kind of help get the ball rolling. But yeah, I don't think that could go wrong just applying for those things, because at the end of the day, there will be a lot of public speaking at some point, even if it's closed door public speaking, just to keep things going. So, yeah.
And then maybe, particularly in your field of expertise, in your credentialed areas, maybe even offering to give a class, like a free workshop or something. I mean, I know the word free isn't sexy, but that's until you get your feet wet and you get comfortable with the style of work you do, and they get to work with you and really like you. Because I think after a couple of times, they'll be like, oh, we really like her. She comes by the schools and she does this, that, and the other. What can we do to help? And you might get more buy.
Yeah, I don't have a
saying,
problem.
hey, can I get in?
No, I don't have a problem. Well, remember, we kind of touched on this earlier, so I don't have a problem with free. If it's you know, a good reason for doing free, and sometimes even when it's not. So I don't have a problem with that. It would just be, you know, doing it the right way. You know, because again, during this process, I want everything to be productive. Even down to how I'm treating myself through the process. Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, we'll talk later about if you want a 2-hour complimentary session, decide what you want to talk about. You've mentioned a couple of times that you want to work on yourself to make sure you're right and your mind is in the right place when you go through this process. So I'm here for you. How can we get a hold of you? How can we follow you? Because this is going to be a journey. And as we both know, because you have a business right now, that people tend to stalk you before they actually buy into what you're doing. So how can we stalk you?
So you can stalk me on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is Centria S on Instagram, and that's CENTRIA and S. And on Facebook is Centria S. Dorsey. And there's also on Facebook, I have my business page, which is Eddie's Wellness and Resource Center, Centria S. Dorsey LMT. So that whole part with the name on it, that's something that was required when I submitted my trade name. Now it's no longer required. So you don't have to have your name on there anymore. But however, that's what you will see because of when I posted it. And then I'm also on LinkedIn, and on LinkedIn I am there under my name. And on LinkedIn, it's Centria Dorsey Worthy, because I did jump the broom again.
Congratulations.
Time around, and so far this is a charm, so it's great. And let's see, is there anywhere else I'm on? I'm also on Alignable. That's a little new to me, but it seems like businesses and people who get on there, it's pretty easy to reach out.
Yeah, it seems like it's better better than LinkedIn and the
Yeah.
It's like a little less formal.
Yeah. A lot easier to just strike up a conversation with the business owner or the charitable organization. So those are the main ones, the IG, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I do have a Twitter account still. So if you're on Twitter and you happen to come across me, feel free, if that's the venue that you use. And forgive me, I'll have to get back to you on what the Twitter one is, because I use the link on IG to post things there. So I really don't go on it directly.
So everybody, when you're listening to this on the podcast and when you're watching this on YouTube, everything will be in the show notes below. Mm-hmm. You just click on which one you want to follow her on. If you can click on all of them, or you can just click on one. And then you get to watch her grow this vision into a blooming, beautiful community effort. Now, before we go, the last question I have is, how long have you been in business with your current endeavor?
So since 2014, even though I didn't get my training until 15, I stepped out really on 2014. So what's that, 5 years? 5 years.
So you know what, we're going to have another interview just to talk about that. But I do want you to, if you don't mind, we'll have to figure out a way where we can both get on Facebook Live, not get chopped off. And you tell us how the ups and downs and perils you faced in running your business, your health business, and things that we ought to know, because I'm sure there's going to be someone else who wants to start a health business and is going to need your nuggets. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
So you guys, let's hope I can get Facebook Live to work. And if you join the Facebook group, Women Veteran Small Business Group, you'll see all types of YouTube live videos. Again, if you want to get on and just do your thing there, just let me know what day so I can promote you. And then you get on and you give us the good, the bad, the ugly about, running your specific type of business in your industry and the things we should watch out for. But I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your vision with us. And yes, thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.